a young achiever with a strong vision to see the family business grow. Our guest today on Flavors of Europe is a go-getter. His entrepreneurial spirit is reflected in the way he's leading Chenab Impex Private Limited as its vice president. Join me in welcoming none other than Mr. Anmol Chandhok. Anmol, welcome to Flavors of Europe.
Thank you so much for having me, Samir.
For the first time on Flavors of Europe, we are hosting a guest with a profession as unique as yours. Why don't you tell us what inspired you to be a part of this business?
Samir, for me, the inspiration behind joining this business has always been my father. He's been a software exporter since the 1980s, and through this profession, he's had a chance to travel extensively. One of the things he really loved about these trips was discovering the wide variety and authenticity of European ingredients. He launched Chenab Impex Private Limited in 2002 and brought European Union ingredients like Spanish olive oil, Italian pasta, French mustard, and so much more. So you can imagine what dinner table conversations have always been like for us. I was clear very early on in life that I wanted to join this business.
That's actually very commendable. I believe that the beauty about your profession is that you actually get to interact with so many like-minded people across the world. Is there a language that you've picked along the way?
When I was studying in France, I picked up a little bit of French. During the lockdown, I learned a little bit of Italian, and currently I'm learning Spanish. Not just that, I've also been very lucky to have the opportunity to spend some time with the Italian family who are the 7th generation into the olive oil business. And you know what, Samir? That's when I realized that while language is important, there's nothing like the love of food that unites everyone.
Wow. While it is obviously difficult to decide which one you love best, I want to know, if you had to go on a food tour, which European countries would you pick?
That's a really tough question, honestly. One of my favorite things is to explore the different regions of Europe. When I go to Spain, you'll see me relishing a paella. When I'm in France, I'm often busy trying different flavors of macaroons. And during winters, nothing beats a good raclette. But if I have to be honest and pick only one place, it has to be Italy. I love the diversity, I love the conversations around food and around high quality aged balsamic vinegar or Parmigiano Reggiano, and how it might pair so well with the right wine, like say a Chianti Classico. Crafted with so many generations of expertise, it's this craftsmanship and authenticity that makes Italian ingredients truly Italian. To sum it up, the European Union has unique varieties of ingredients, which adds so much fun to discovering new flavors.
That's what dreams are made of. I mean, being the foodie I am, I would first hit the streets to try out everything that there is. Do you have any favorite food corners in and around Europe?
I do, Samir. In fact, I try to visit all the famous corners that I see on Instagram or on restaurant lists to treat myself to dishes, just like a local would. You'll usually find me at restaurants which are just a couple of streets within the central plaza or the main square, because no matter which European city you go to, that's usually where all the action is.
Do you think these conversations with other European producers also influence the kind of ingredients you bring to our country?
Oh, absolutely, Samir. At Chenab, we are very serious about sourcing authentic ingredients. When we speak to different European producers, we also get the opportunity to understand and explore what's new and trending in their markets. And this helps us decide the kind of products that we want to bring back with us to India. For us, what's important is that the professional Indian chef and the discerning Indian consumer gets access to European ingredients of the highest quality standards and authenticity. This way, they are able to not just create traditional European recipes, but are also able to experiment with fusion flavors.
The minute we think of European dishes, it's very normal for all of us to keep circling around flavors that we feel are familiar. With your extensive experience of the world, tell us about new or underrated European ingredients that you tried which tasted surprisingly great.
Well, I think there's one ingredient that's truly underrated, but it's slowly finding its place in India, and that's maraschino cherries. What makes them so unique is the way that they're grown by a 200-year-old plus producer based in Italy, and the rich, bittersweet flavor that they've got. And looking at the quality, you can immediately tell that a lot of love and care has gone into creating them. Apart from this, I also think that basil with olive oil and arugula lettuce from Italy, raisin hazelnut chocolates from Germany, and Murano buns from Slovakia are also some authentic European products that everyone should try at least once in their life. For those who don't know, Murano buns are made using sourdough and have a sweet filling in the middle. Last but not the least, I also have Lai, a type of pie from Belgium always stacked in my fridge.
Having an open palate is such a rewarding experience. I remember the first time I tried the chicken gyros in Greece, I was absolutely blown away. Which are some of your favorite European ingredients you would bring back to your country?
There are a few favorites I can always vouch for. These include French Dijon mustard and Greek extra virgin olive oil. Also, I don't know if you'll believe this, but I do like to spend some time in the kitchen. You can find me making some mocktails using sparkling apple juice from France or sparkling grape juice from Belgium. And since I love Italian cuisine, sometimes I'll whip up my famous carrot gnocchi, which my food critics at home approve of too. And for that, of course, I'll use a high quality olive oil from Spain and carrots from Hungary. I'm also a fan of olive oils from France and Croatia. When I'm craving something a little bit more wholesome, I'll make a pea soup using green peas from Latvia. And I'll put a dollop of soft French cheese on top. Very rarely, I'll try my hand at baking, and I'll make a pear and chocolate crumble using Belgian Lucas pears and cashew chocolates from Germany. And on days when I want to eat something that's a little indulgent but quite easy to make, I'll just simply put together a sandwich with black cherry fruit spread from Austria and camembert cheese from France. The natural sweetness of the spread beautifully balances the savory flavors of the cheese, making it a real treat for anyone who enjoys a little bit of both worlds.
It's as fascinating as it gets. I can't wait to try these out myself. But also, Anmol, while it's no surprise that the European Union has high quality and authentic produce, do you think this has resulted in the increase in demand for European ingredients in India?
You know, Samir, when I joined the business, my father taught me that there are basic criteria that every consumer looks for, and there are three of them. Number one, does the produce taste better than the ones they already have access to? Number two, is it more nutritious? And lastly, has the product been priced fairly? While these three are essential aspects, I also think that authenticity of the ingredients plays a key role. And thankfully, there are specific European labels for that. For instance, the PDO, or the Protected Designation of Origin label, establishes a strong connection between the product and the region that it has been produced in. Every part of the production, processing, and preparation process takes place in that specific region. Then, there is also the PGI label, or the Protected Geographical Indication label, which highlights the relationship between the name of the product and its specific geographical region, while also shedding light on its unique characteristics. So you see, while India has access to great produce at quite reasonable rate, an increase in travel, exposure to European culture, and increased disposable income has created a shift in Indian mindsets too. There's now more demand for products like authentic pizza flour. We routinely work with pizzerias to offer Italian pizza flour, which results in much better crusts.
Are you seeing an increasing demand for meats and dairy produce as well?
Oh, for sure. Indian customers are also looking for alternatives for cheese slices, which are available in Austria and other parts of Europe. In fact, what's really interesting is the demand for meat. European meats such as chicken cocktail sausages from Denmark, sliced barbecue ham from Belgium, and others are slowly picking up. And that's a good shift because it shows how consumers are trusting the quality and safety of European ingredients.
Do you see this surge in consumption in a few specific categories, or do you see a significant shift in the way Indians now view and consume European ingredients?
I honestly believe that there is an increase in demand across all categories. But yes, spirits and chocolates have seen a slightly higher trend as compared to the rest. So you're beginning to hear about a few varieties of liqueurs that come from, say, Italy, Spain, France, and Ireland. And with the PGI and PDO labels, you know that these are made using the most authentic ingredients. But what has also happened over time is that people have stopped seeing certain products as premium just because they are imported and are truly evaluating the quality that they stand for. A product like Arborio rice from Italy or mini cherries on the vine from Netherlands are gaining popularity because of the quality of the ingredient.
There is no one better than you who could have given us this insider information. In the recent times, I see a lot of homegrown brands venturing into creating their own spirits and exporting them too. How do you feel about this?
You know, Samir, I'm a proud Indian and I'm proud to see Indian origin products, not just spirits and wines, but also products from different categories competing on the world stage. That talks a lot about our country and it shows how open India is, not just to embracing new cultures, but how great we are at finding ways to making other cultures our own.
That's true. And with this, we come to the end of this interview. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Here's hoping you continue to share your passion for great ingredients with the world. Thank you so much.
Likewise, Samir, I enjoyed being here.